Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Amara's Kitchen. Today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make delicious meat pie. So guys, let's just jump right into this recipe. Stay tuned and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Alright guys, let's get started. I will introduce all the ingredients to you guys as we cook along, but for now I'm gonna show you guys the meat that I'll be using. This is a 3-pound ground beef, but I'm not gonna be using all of it. I'll go ahead and split them into two, making it 1.5 pounds of ground beef that I'll be using. So I'm not good at doing measurements when I'm cooking, but based on the quantity of the meat pie you're going to be making, so you add the ground beef accordingly. So at a skillet pot, so I'll go ahead and add the ground beef. Like I told you guys, whatever that I'll be using, I will introduce it to you guys as I go along the cooking. So this is the ground beef. I'll go ahead and stir them up until they are all brown, or the red colors, the freshness is gone. So as you can see, we are getting there. So you have to keep doing this constantly so all the beef will break up. You don't want them to stay in a big chunk. So this is what it's looking like after like 2 to 4 minutes, or let me say maximum of 5 minutes. I got this, and the beef have some fat, so it's like 85% lean meat, so there's 25% of 15% of fat left in the ground beef, and that's fine. So I'll go ahead and add some onions, and I will stir that up for like 2 minutes. So after 2 minutes, this is the spice I'll be using. I will put up the spice up there. I might have to put it at the description section as well. So but feel free to use whatever spice that works best for you. It doesn't have to be what I'm using. Just do your own thing, guys. So look at the turmeric, the color of that turmeric. I love the kind of color it gives to any delicacy at all. So after letting it cook for like about 3 minutes, so I'm adding some meat tenderizer. So this is optional, but this gives a lot of flavor to the meat as well. Sometimes when we're making meat pie, we pay attention more to the crust, but we don't pay attention to the filling. So but guys, if you really want your meat pie to come out to be great, you need to give some attention to the fillings. Yes, the filling needs to be tasty. So here I'm adding some Irish potato. I already chopped them up in a cube. So you can chop them as little as you want or as big as you want. So at this point, I stirred everything up together, and I cover this up and let it simmer for about 5 minutes. So after 5 minutes, I'm back. I keep stirring them around, making sure that they are not sticking to the pot, they are not burning, and this is non-sticky pot, so I'm not so worried about that. So I cover this up again for a few more minutes while I proceed to my vegetables. So I added some extra virgin olive oil, just a little bit, as you can see, and I added half of the onions. I used large onions. I split it into two, one for the meat and one for the vegetable that I'm steaming right now. So because you don't want to eat your meat pie, when you take a bite, you start tasting some taste of fresh vegetable that is not well seasoned. You don't want that to happen. So that's why I'm doing this, to show you guys another way you can have the vegetables taste amazing. So as you guys can see, I already added the vegetables to the onions that I have in the pot already. So I stirred everything up, and I'm adding another seasoning, just a little bit of seasoning. You don't want to overpower this stuff with too much seasoning. And this is the half of the naan cube that I use for the meat. Yes, I use one naan cube, so half on each side. So once everything is well stirred up, I'm using a frozen vegetable, like 1 pack of frozen mixed vegetable. So it has there's a little bit of water in it. So as I stir along, so the water came out and made everything combine pretty good. At this point, I turn the stove off. So I stir this up for like 3 to 5 minutes, and I turn the stove off. So we're gonna go back to the meat and the potato that was cooking. So look at that. At this point, I haven't added any water at all. So all the seasoning has soaked into the potato. Yes. So look at that, looking so delicious. I wish you guys can smell this aroma in my kitchen right now. It smells amazing. So at this point, I'll go ahead and check if the potato is tender enough. So with a little pressure, as you can see, I can easily break that with a little pressure. So the same pot that I used to fry the vegetable, I added 2 cups of water with 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour to thicken it up, because I don't want it to be like spreading all over the place, So we'll have to bring them all together. So that's why I'm adding the 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour mixed up with water. So I'm adding a little bit of more water because it was too thick. So I added a little bit. So look at the texture. So I'll go ahead and cover this up and let it simmer for maximum, not more than 5 minutes, because I want the smell and the taste of the fresh all-purpose flour to go away. So after 5 minutes, this is what it's looking like. Looking so amazing and smells so amazing, and it tastes delicious, guys. So look at the texture. It's not too thick, it's not too watery, not dry. This is just the perfecto. Italian, they will say perfecto, or I don't know. So, but this is the perfect texture I'm looking for. I'll go ahead and set that aside at the cold surface area to cool down. Yes, you don't want to like fill your meat pie with a hot stuffing, as in the sauce. That would be a disaster, So while we're waiting for that to cool off, let's proceed to mixing the flour. I always like to have my meat sauce cook properly. I don't want it to be hot. So as you can see, I'm using a self-rising flour, and I'm using 4 cups. Yes, I'm using 4 cups of, no, actually 6 cups. Sorry guys, I'm using 6 cups. So to that, I will be adding half teaspoon of nutmeg. This is optional. I like the taste and the flavor of nutmeg in my meat pie, so you can skip this if you don't want it. So this is a salt. So I'm adding 1 teaspoon of salt. So remember I said I'm using 6 cups of self-rising flour. So because I'm using self-rising flour, I'm not adding any baking powder. So to that, I'll be using a unsalted butter. I'll be using 4 sticks. So because 1 stick is for like 2 cups, so I'm using 6 cups of flour. I'm adding 3 sticks of 3 sticks of unsalted butter. So as you can see, I've slid everything in there. Everything has been slided in. I'll go ahead and massage this until all the butter has mixed up with the flour, giving me some crumbs. It's gonna look like a crumbs. So look at that. So this is what you should be aiming at. So I'll be using 1 cup of milk. So you can use whatever. It can be skim milk, it can be whole milk, it can be whatever milk you have available, but you don't have to use heavy cream. No. So gradually I added all the milk. So, and I'm adding 1 cup of regular water as well, like cold water. So I'll go ahead and keep adding that gradually, little by little, until all the water is gone as well. So as you guys can see, the water is gone. So I used 2 cups of water. So 2 cups of water to 6 cups of all-purpose flour. So that's what I used. And another secret to getting a crispy meat pie is like you don't have to overknead your dough. Do not overknead your dough. Yes, once you gathered everything, once all the flour is all together, that's it. So do not try to knead it until it becomes as if you're making bread. So we're not making bread, guys, so we're making meat pie. So at this point, I think I've gotten what I need. So I'll just go ahead and split them into 3 parts. So doing this stuff is so relaxed. It's like you're exercising your hand at the same time. So I will set them aside and I will start off with 1. So I'll just go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of all-purpose flour. No, the self-rising flour, the one that I used. So I will continue with the same kind of flour. I don't want to mix them up with different stuff. So go ahead and roll everything out. So they seem like they are breaking, but that's a good news because they are gonna be crispy at the end of it. So you can use whatever you have, like your little pot cover. If you have a dough cutter, you can use it. You can use whatever that you feel comfortable using for this. There is nothing special about this. So guys, you can see my sauce has cooled down completely. It has completely cooled down. So once you're done, just go ahead and pick that up and use your hands to like bring the 2 edges together. Okay, so we're gonna seal them up. For you to seal it up, use your fork and press it down on both sides. So the angle that I'm staying is not a good angle, so I'm gonna go ahead and move that around. So I usually go like twice. After the first round, I go back again the second round to make sure they're properly sealed. So look at that, looking so well done. So guys, that's it. So I'll go ahead and fill all of this up. So the next strategy, you can as well use your hand to press them together just like I'm doing. So just use your hands, press them tight. So believe me guys, with this is completely sealed. If you don't feel like going through the process of using the fork, it is fine the way it is. But for me, I just like that, design that fork gives the meat pie. So that's why I always, proceed to doing that, even if it's not necessary, if the thing is already covered or sealed up. So, but I still like that, that design. That's just what it's all about, nothing else. All right, guys, I'll go ahead and proceed to rolling up all my meat pie. I will see you guys soon. here we are. All the meat pie has been rolled up. So I will use the same fork and just make a hole so it can have like a way of vapors or air or whatever, you know, going out so it doesn't pop up, because if you don't do this it will pop open. So the next is the wash. We have to make an egg wash. So I'm using 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of milk. Use any milk of your choice, and if you don't want milk, go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of room temperature water. Yeah, that's just fine. So I'll go ahead and wash all of them up just like that. So guys, if this is your first time on this channel, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up so you know whenever I post any video. And I thank you all for your support. So if you're a returning subscriber, thank you guys for coming back. I really appreciate your support each time you click in. So I'll go ahead and, you know, add them in the oven and let them bake for like 25 to 35 minutes. So it doesn't really take that long to bake. Yeah, so there we are. They're all done. So I kind of place them on top of my kitchen towel because they're pretty hot. You don't want to place a hot stuff on your kitchen counter. So look at this, look at that. It's looking so crispy. Very, very crispy. Easy to break. Look at that, it's already breaking out. So this meat pie was so delicious. So guys, I hope you all enjoyed this recipe today, and I thank you guys for stopping by. And if this is your first time on this channel, don't forget to subscribe. Look at that, it's very hot. As you can see, the inside is still very juicy. Yes, the filling is still very juicy. As you can see, there's a lot of smoke that came out of that when I opened it up. So you know me, I can't wait. I was so impatient to wait for this to cool down, so I decided to take a bite. So delicious. So guys, you have to be patient to wait for it to cool off at least about 50% cool before you dig in. But if you're so impatient like me, just go ahead and dig in. Yeah. Sorry guys. So this is it. This is what it looks like. It looks so amazing, so delicious. I hope you guys give this recipe a try. Yes, go ahead and give it a try. And I will see you guys on my next video. Have a wonderful day, and God bless you, and stay safe. Bye bye.